The script, and first of all, the script being character driven. There's this love story that's amazing and prominent, with two characters that aren't like quintessential obvious characters. It's a very cool character driven piece. And then Michael Bay.
Yeah, when you
with
go on a lot of auditions, but when you get an email saying it's a Paramount Pictures movie with Michael Bay producing.
Yeah, there's a lot of not great stuff going around telling scripts, and then you can see something like this.
This one was really good.
Exciting when you read something that you love and you're passionate about right away.
I think we all instantly fell in love with it.
Yeah, we did.
Back to the Future 1.
Back to the Future
3 with the Wild West.
Really?
Mine's Groundhog Day.
That was fun.
Oh, Groundhog Day.
Bill Murray sucks. I'm kidding. Bill Murray's the best actor alive.
I was like, what? Fantastic.
Past 3 months. Oh, stipulation on this.
Oh.
One time, me and Jonny went in for this hug, and then our faces got. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I have no idea. Alan?
Yeah, no, we were talking about this. Ginny, right?
3 months.
Sophia. I'm okay, really.
I would go back to the phone call that I got that said I booked a movie, and I would not scream like a little girl and run around in circles. Woo! In public.
It's incredibly different because the structure of shooting is like a totally new medium. So instead of doing traditional coverage and going in and getting close-ups and doing the same scene
do the scene and it gets closer, and you reset the camera and do the same scene 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And it's always different because it's a different depth and type of camera. But this one is just, sometimes they shoot one scene from 50 feet away, and that's all you get. It's just that one thing. So you have to use your whole body and you got to work closely with the director, and know what he's seeing behind the monitor.
Yeah, I wasn't acting much.
Yeah, Alan was not.
He's geek. He's geek. You're talking about you have guns and stuff. You're not a geek. You're awesome.
Thank you. Well, thank you. But I do love comic books and all that stuff, and I love science fiction. I was always a big fan of all the movies, like you were saying, Back to the Future and Looper and all of those things. So it's definitely fun.
To be honest, being uncomfortable in your skin and all that was not fun, not necessarily the funnest part for me. It's kind of you just feel sensitive and weird all the fucking time, So. No, so not fun necessarily.
Because that's what geeks do.
Yeah, fucking geeks.
Sensitive and weird.
Does that feel sensitive?
I loved playing my role. It was really fun. I think that I was more of the guy who was on the side, yelling out, "Hey, you guys!" I'm pretty sure I hand a wrench to them once. I'm like, "You guys need this for anything?" While they're building the time machine, and I'm just. On the side.
Yeah, ask him how it is to play a kind of slow. Heartfelt.
It was fun. I mean, I guess we were all geeks though because we're all best friends.
But you were a geek that wasn't even smart.
I was. I kind of. Who was I?
You're a nerd. You're a nerd. You're not a geek. You're a nerd.
I was a geek who thought he wasn't a geek.
I don't think any of us would have been casted if there wasn't a part of us they saw already.
Yeah.
There. So we're safe to say we're all have geeks inside of us.
Yeah.
If you
But it was very important to us that to have multi-dimensional characters and be to have all sides and not be just a obvious high school character. You know what I mean? It was in my mind, and for David, it was a full-on addiction like any other addiction. So that it was that was the way that I was able to relate to something as just outlandish as time travel, which might not be that outlandish now that I'm really studying it. Yeah, you have to build a level of trust, and that it really is a bonding experience.
Yeah, we all loved hanging out.
And we keep in touch. We all became really good friends. We see each other a lot. I mean, we became best friends.
It's really special. I think whenever you do something like this, you hope that everyone becomes a family and a unit because, like you said, there is an affinity when you're doing something like that with a group of people. But oftentimes you don't get that lucky. And so we all walked away from it really appreciating each other and the friendships that we made. And now, I live in New York, but when I come to LA, Ginny's my first call. And it's really nice to have these these friendships that go so far past the movie, and it's such a nice compliment that we get when people can see that on screen, because we were very conscious of it.
It was real. It really was a real connection. I think we all have good chemistry because of that.
Alan just had a birthday actually, and when we went to celebrate, our 2 writers were there, and I turned around and I was like, how nice is it that after so long, it's been, you know, almost a year and a half now since we made the movie, that even the writers want to come out and celebrate for one of us. It's a really special group, and we feel really, really lucky.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I think that makes everyone 100 million times more dedicated even, you know, because we all really appreciate the opportunity that we had, and Dean in particular was so prepared and ready for this job.
He was such a good leader for us. We all wanted to do such good work, and we all cared about it so much.
He was so prepared. At the same time, he knew when to trust us. You know, like we all developed trust for each other, and especially with Dean, you know, he knew his stuff, and he let us improvise when we needed to, like to get to that.
What's crazy is Dean is under 30 years old too. He's, you know, we're all he's very young, and this is a good jumping point because he's just gone into some other huge film. And,
it's incredible. You know, found footage is really hard to execute, I think, as a director, and I think that can be so consuming that I was so surprised that he had so much time for us. And
absolutely.
I think it's such I think it all attributes to Dean, that when people walk away from the movie, they say the found footage was really cool, but also these kids are really relatable because he was concerned with all of that, you know. And
as far as the casting goes, he pushed for us specifically.
For all of us,
because
so we really owe him thanks.
We love Dean,
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey